Hi, I'm Heather, and it's my passion to empower parents. And so I'm here tonight to show you what we did to help our children learn to read before they went to school. We did not teach them systematically the way that teachers sometimes do and often always should, but we did a lot of things that really helped lay a good foundation for them. And so I'm here to share them with you in the hopes that it will help you lay a similar foundation with your kids. When kids enter kindergarten, there's a whole gamut of ranges of reading ability. There are kids who are just learning their ABCs still, and then there are kids who are reading on usually about a third grade reading level and everything in between. And so it's the unenviable job of most kindergarten and even first grade teachers to try to get everybody up to a good level, and then to continue to challenge the kids who are still going a little bit beyond anyway. Making sure, of course, that they don't have any holes in their education. It's not an easy job to be a teacher, and my hat is off to all of your teachers out there because it is very, very difficult. Now that said, a lot of K through 2 teachers, literally about half in the United States, don't teach the kids in their classroom phonics because they have been taught not to. And unfortunately for all the kids, phonics is really the only way to decode language, in English anyway. So I'm going to show you what we did, and hopefully you can do some of that too. So there are 3 steps to giving your kids a good foundation of phonics. The first is teaching them their alphabet, the second is teaching them to rhyme, and then the third is actually showing them that the letters go together and that the letters make sounds, which is phonics. And so what I'm going to do is just illustrate a little bit about each one that we did, and hopefully you'll be able to replicate this at home too. All right, so the first thing to do is to teach the kids the alphabet. And of course, there's a little song that goes along with it, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And you need to show them what each letter looks like. Some people choose uppercase, some people choose lowercase. Most like letters that you're going to get, like the foam bathtub letters or the letters that go on your fridge, are going to be uppercase letters. They're usually the most recognizable. And you're going to then teach the child each letter, what it looks like individually. And so it's just basic letter recognition. And you're not necessarily teaching them anything beyond this is the letter R, for example. And then the second thing to do is to rhyme with them. You're going to rhyme with them in hopefully a lot of different ways. First of all, you're going to rhyme with them for fun. You're going to say, hey, I just turned on the light. Can you think of another word that rhymes with light? And they might come up with fight or kite or bite. And all of those rhyme with light, even though they're not always spelled the same way. But rhyming is a really important part of learning to read. Neuroscientists have discovered that with some dyslexic kids, they actually have a part of their brain back here that cannot hear rhymes well. They can't process rhymes well. And so because of that, they can't, it's actually much, much harder for them to learn to read, which is one of the reasons they have dyslexia. So, but the good news is that that's actually, you can bypass that. You can actually train the child to rhyme by rhyming with them over and over and over and over again, much more than a regular child you would. But if you rhyme with them over and over, the brain gets retrained, and they can actually overcome that. So that's really cool. Okay, so you definitely need to rhyme with your kids. The second way to do that is with nursery rhymes. Go grab a book from the library on nursery rhymes, or remember some of the nursery rhymes that you sang as a child and played with. These are hundreds of years old. They were originally designed to teach history, believe it or not. So when we all do ring around the rosy, a bucket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down, and we hold hands and we ring, we go in a circle outside and then we fall down on the grass. That's all fun. We've all done that before. The kids love to do that. What they don't understand is that teaches them about the Black Plague from the 1300s. And all of the nursery rhymes that are from Great Britain do that. They'll teach history in code form in one way or another, but they make it memorable so that it sticks with you, so that the history isn't lost. And but at any rate, now we just call them nursery rhymes, and we don't even remember the history behind them. We just remember Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again, and things like that. So grab a book on nursery rhymes and go through the nursery rhymes with your kids, because they rhyme, and any rhyming practice, anything that you can do to rhyme with your kids is going to be helpful for them at this stage. Now, you can do teaching of the alphabet, like the letters and so forth. This is the letter D. You can teach the alphabet at the same time as you rhyme with them. Those don't have to be done sequentially. So you can rhyme one day with your kids, and the next day you can read them an alphabet book or go through the alphabet letters on your fridge or something like that. And so those can be done at the same time. But after both of those things are in place, then you're going to want to start teaching phonics. Phonics is, so a phoneme is the sound that a letter, a sound in the English language. And phonics is the process of matching the letters with the sounds. So R says and D says D, and that's phonics. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is do one letter at a time. So if you've got if you just have a pen and paper, you can do just with pen and paper. Both of our boys' names started with the letter J, and so we would show them the letter J on the fridge, or with those big foam bath letters, and we would say J says J like Jacob, or J like Jonathan, because that's our boys' names. They are now 21 and 23, so they're not here to share with you what we did with them or to help demonstrate this, but this can be done for free. All of this stuff can be done for free with your pen and paper and your local library. So so start with one letter at a time with the phonics. You're going to go through as many letters, and especially the consonants, like J and D and C and so forth, S, T, all those, because vowels change an awful lot, but consonants don't change too much. And you're going to go through the alphabet, and you're going to say what each one says, and you're going to go do that. You're going to do that naturally over and over again, as much as you can. Probably 3 or 4 times a week at minimum. It takes a while sometimes for kids to get that. And you don't have to do all 26 letters in one go. You can just do a couple letters at a time. So like J says J, and then D says duh for dad, right? And so that's kind of what we did. We just did one letter at a time. The next thing that we did was we took 2 letters at a time. And we would say, okay, so the A set in this word, the A says a. Remember, because letters change, the vowels change often with like an E. It would, instead of at, it would be 8. Okay, if there was an E on the end. So with this, in this word, the A says a or a, and the T says t. And then you merge them together. You slide them together. You at. What rhymes, and then you can go back to the rhyming part. What rhymes with at? Cat, mat, fat, sat, pat. Okay, so, but you want to start with the 2 letters at a time. And then at the last part of this is to put a 3rd letter onto here. And what you're going to do, the easiest words to teach initially are something called consonant vowel consonant words, or CVC words. And so this is at, rat, rat, rat. And then you can change the first letter, and you can say, oh, it's no longer a rat, it's a cat, cat. Oh, how about this? How about bat, bat. And you slide it all together like that. And you can manipulate the letters on the fridge to make the letters look like this. You can just write it out. It's okay. So it can be really cheap and easy to do this. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money on the CVC or consonant vowel consonant words. You don't have to do anything special. Just present the letters and then slide them all together and show your kids how they fit together to make sounds into words. And that's really essentially what we did when we were starting to teach our children how to read. And it blossomed from there, and I'll do another video or two if you guys are interested to show you more blends of letters and so forth. But that is the basics of what we did to teach our children how to read. Before they went to school, they were right around, both of them were right around the age of 4 when they started reading. And they read pretty naturally too. Okay, so to recap, there are 3 things that you need to do in order to give your kids a good phonics foundation so that they can decode letters. The first is to teach them the alphabet, and the second is to rhyme with them. And then the third is to put those together, to put the letters together with the sounds in English to make words, which is the actual phonics. And you're going to start with 1 letter at a time, and then do 2 letters, and then you're going to end with 3-letter words. And that will give your kids, that will start to give your kids a good phonics foundation. I hope that this was helpful. Please let me know. I'm really very interested to hear what you have to say. Thanks.